Enjoy the show. Play on my channel.
If they ask you if you're a god, Ray, you say yes.
Rebel Without a Cause, and he's not going black.
Oh, Rebel Without a Cause, great.
That's how the boys unlocks on our Amazon. You have to 100% Skyrim.
See you in 10 years.
That is an algae-powered computer that probably can't run Crysis.
It's obviously at a foreign restaurant is where they tried this out.
I'm here for the algae and breadsticks.
We're going live. Hit the multi-stream tab on the chat box because this is none other than the 314th Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers Media Network. And of course, the only podcast to make Tuesday look so good. The Triforce Podcast, of course. I am very loudly your host, the Matthew Bucarell, the Mat Man. To my left is one Christopher Bristow, the old man. In our Purjanger box, we have a very selective and special guest set. We have Amy Note, nickname needed, as well as 1 hour Iron Kelly Collins. And Kelly, you just so happen to go, going on 4 years now, and never mentioned that you had an acting friend.
He probably mentioned it once.
Yeah, I actually, you moved to California for a while, didn't you, Dennis?
I did, yeah. I was there for 4 years. Came back about a year ago.
I'm pretty sure that's when he said, fuck that guy, right? You heard him say that.
No, I met
was trying to get away.
I met Dennis because I play hockey, and he would ref, and then I became a ref, and he was my boss as a ref. He taught me. And then I got tired of reffing all my friends, and they just kind of turned into assholes. I didn't realize how big of an asshole you could be towards a ref until I started doing the same thing to Dennis when I would play, and me and Dennis would go at it, and I'd bitch. And
anybody else see the giant fucking metaphor there? No? Okay. By myself.
I wouldn't call myself your boss at the time. I was just...
You were the head ref at the time.
We have
all right, fair enough.
But no, it's just funny that goes full circle, I played a little bit, then I reffed a little bit, then I played some more, and then he reffed me, and I would yell at him, he would yell back, and it was good.
You know what's great about this?
He was right. I usually just complain just because I get pissed.
Every single person in this podcast knows who the fuck he is besides the people watching the podcast because Kelly didn't introduce him.
Yeah.
Dennis, how do you say your last name?
John Tate.
John Tate.
Thought so, but Kelly will tell you, I have a superpower of murdering pronunciations.
Hooked on Phonics was not good for him.
Phonics! So
if you go into the back catalog of any Japanese or Chinese pronunciation,
I try. It's right over there. Look,
butchery.
You see this?
So funny.
This is called a disclaimer. I try. I put it in the fucking name. I don't know how more visible I can make it. Try. But we also try to start off this podcast the same way with tonight. Another man's trash is this podcast treasure. Everyone loves Homelander, algae-powered computer, and so much more on the Triforce podcast. So we start off with you, Dennis, is that you wrote, produced, and co-led acted in this film, Another Man's Trash. And I hear it's good. It's a lighthearted comedy about a celebrity chef turned homeless man. So you wrote this about a fantasy version of Kelly.
Sure. I don't know where he's at in his life now, but yeah, a little inspiration.
He's about to get kicked. About to get kicked
that's
out.
Like multiversal Kelly, like 4879, but it's it's there. There's a Kelly who's that guy. That's what I learned from Dr. Strange.
15 years ago, when I was a chef working, before I became a salary chef, yes, I was making shit money, and I would barely afford anything. Yes, but then became an actual chef, made some money, and then got out of that because then you don't make money again until you're So I'm not there anymore, but I still cook. I still
but you're in a better place over here where we try.
So my first question for you is, obviously, this is a sensitive subject for a lot of people, especially in this time. 2020 was a fucking ass kicker. A lot of people got in a lot of dark places, and lighthearted comedies typically can lend a light to a serious subject, but still raise awareness to it. And I like how you guys are doing this with the timing, with Phil Abundance, and actually helping. I was checking out your site, and you actually show, and you list out, well, how does your donation help? Well, they are doing this, and you have a clear set list of how you're not only helping making this be made, you're also just making everybody else's life a little bit better. And I can't think of one thing other than our motto, or mantra rather, of building everybody else up. And that's what we do as Pajangers. And this is just right along the lines. And you are a Pajanger. So I couldn't think of why not have you on. So
Well, I appreciate that.
where do we start on this?
You nailed it. You nailed it right on the head. This is a really relevant topic today. Now, I originally wrote the story 7 years ago, and it kind of just sat, as a lot of scripts do. And then COVID hit, and the industry was kind of just at a standstill. Auditions weren't happening because nothing was shooting. So my friend and I, John, who I went to Playhouse West with, it's a Philadelphia acting school. We were talking one day about what we can do to just keep proactive. And I said, well, there's a script that's just sitting there. Like, why don't we revisit it? And then we really dove into it. And for the last 7 months, he actually came on board and is now a co-writer, because we changed quite a bit of it. And he's the other co-lead starring opposite me. It just kind of kept growing and growing with the good cause. It was kind of an easy pitch. It is a comedy, but we want to tell the story, like you said, about a serious topic, but let's do it in a way where it's not cliche, where all the homeless people are on drugs, and they're alcoholics, and they're a nuisance. Like, this is just a guy that I play that is just quite honestly down on his luck, as a lot of homeless people are. It happens really fast. They just lost their passion, their desire. Before you know it, you'd be fascinated to talk to just some of them. And there was some inspiration. There's a YouTube page called Invisible People, and it's by a guy who used to be homeless, and he went around and would just talk to them every day and get their story. And it was really kind of inspiring. So once we got Phil Abundance involved as a beneficiary, well, then it kind of puts a name to it. You can really start to synergize with a film, and then also helping people, because we always wanted to give back somehow. A lot of people will give to charities, but not really know where it goes or how to do this and that. And Phil Abundance is well known in this area, so everybody can associate, and we know exactly who it's going to help. So we're just really excited. We're actually shooting this upcoming Monday through Friday. So my nerves are getting to me. It's been a lot of work the last 7 months. First time producing. Okay. It's been nuts, but yeah, anybody can go to anothermanstrashfilm.com, and there's a little story. There's a pitch video just like that. Thank you. There's a donate button, and we actually have an angel investor who's willing to donate and match up to $5,000. Oh, wow. So it doesn't matter if it's $1, if it's 100, 1,000, he'll match it. So that'll go straight towards post-production, editing, all kinds of stuff. So we're really thankful. A lot of people are just willing to help. We love it.
Look, coming from a guy who edits 2 podcasts a fucking week for the past 3 goddamn years, I know.
The car podcast is easy.
I know. You say edit this out like it's a goddamn word with E.
It is. You just
like it's a wish from a genie.
And it's done.
Magic wand. And then
people really don't know how much is involved
that is
in the post-production.
Big struggle. Post-production.
It doesn't matter if it's videos, pictures. Like I did it when I had my video and photography business. It was like you go to a wedding and it's like people are like, oh, it's only like you're at a wedding for 10 hours. It's like, yeah, 10 hours at the wedding and then about 2 weeks of editing.
Yeah. You're reliving
that's why it costs so much to get wedding pictures and wedding videos.
Now, that's also the difference of editing this podcast. I jokingly bitch about it, but I also get to relive a great moment with my friends every single fucking week, you know, from doing the editing to the promotions and all that. So having multiple hats in the field is always, I've always worn multiple hats. How is it for you? Do you cope well with, do you find it easier with, you know what, if I just write it and producing is new to you, but is that a thing that is
So what
this
he's
is just
trying
going to
to-
make it easier?
What he's trying to say is
No.
you wear many hats. Do you find yourself
do you
saying
manage?
to yourself, if I just do it myself, I know it will get done?
There you go.
Yes, that is true. No one's gonna love something that you've created more than yourself. So
Correct.
with that said,
It's
I couldn't
hard
have
to
done
release
this
that.
without my team though,
Right.
because everyone has their own
Mhm.
skill set and working on a different level of production, right? So
Mhm.
someone I've dipped in every bit of it, but somebody can handle locations, calling, catering, for example. I mean, you got to keep people fed and happy. That's one of the big ones.
Oh, we
And,
got somebody for you. Oh, man,
so
don't worry.
You don't
There's
want
an
your
ad.
crew, crew unhappy, not fed, not a good scenario.
We
Oh,
should
yeah.
hook them up with him.
Yeah.
We'll take care
We
of
should
that.
hook them up with him.
Kelly,
We'll talk about that.
send them the webpage.
Okay.
But no, this has been a giant, overwhelming scenario. But after this is done, I know that I've accomplished something pretty big, and I'll be better for it. I'll learn from it. I've made some mistakes along the way, but next time I do a project like this, I'll be way more ready. So, but yeah, you have to lean on people. If I went back, I probably would have not produced it, because there is a level here that I'm coming up to in a few days where I have to focus on just the acting side of it.
Yeah.
And here I am worrying about building an actual cardboard box
First off,
home for the last 3 days.
acting alone is a difficulty, and it's like acting. I would like to think it's like stand up. It's not something somebody can just tell you, this is how you got to do it, because acting is different to you and how you have to understand yourself and the character that you're getting into. So
And
it's
the
a
tiny
personal
little
struggle.
It's the tiny little nuances you got to pull out of the person too.
I mean, unless you're a sociopath. I mean, then
And
it would.
you got to
probably-
figure out how to incept that ability out of them as well.
a lot of Hollywood people types. I'm not mentioning any trials or anything specifically, but some people, it comes easy to just act. But for most normal people, it is something that it's a craft that you have to hone. And, you know, I have your IMDb right here. You were in House of Cards. How was that
yeah,
experience?
A little bit here and there. I was part of crew, and then I started getting like Secret Service roles, and then I would audition for that quite a bit.
You can't tell me you didn't feel
reporter.
badass. As a
What was
secret,
that?
you can't tell me you didn't feel badass being a Secret Service agent. Are you fucking kidding me, bud?
Oh, on House of Cards? Yeah. Totally.
I do that just to entertain myself.
Yeah.
Linky Doodle
No,
Buddy's
that was,
going out to the body.
God, I miss that set. That was a good time. That was like 4 years of my life there on that set.
But there's a lot of
but yeah.
credits that you have here. And that, I mean, Netflix, that just kind of, I don't know, I kind of like, I like that about Netflix. You're not like a Kevin Spacey IMDb, but you had that opportunity. As well as you were in Unbreakable as an extra, right?
As an extra, that was like the first thing I ever did. That was like 10 years ago.
I remember that casting call. That's why that
12
stuck
years
out
ago
to me.
by now.
Because my aunt was like, oh, you want to be an actor? Here. And it was like Unbreakable. And I was like, I'll never get that. Boom.
Yeah,
See what can happen?
I've been on a lot of sets, but then I did a film called What Death Leaves Behind, which was like my first feature film.
Yes.
And that was actually shot locally in Philadelphia. It ended up in Sundance Film Festival, so it did quite well.
I remember when that came out.
That's
I
great.
remember because I was I follow you we're friends on Facebook, and I remember when you were putting that out. I remember watching that.
Nice, thank you.
It was good.
Good,
mean-
thank you, appreciate it.
I mean, there's
But now,
definitely a
go
fandom
ahead.
in and of itself of just those Sundance and those indie films. And it's that kind of feel that I really like about just looking at this, is that I want to investigate and watch your movies because I want to actually see, like, Another Man's Trash. I'm fucking donating. I'm definitely watching that shit because it's a comedy. Big Brother and myself are big comedy fans.
Didn't you say John O'Hurley's in it too?
Elaine's
I mean,
boss.
Seinfeld fans. John O'Hurley's on board.
I was telling my coworkers that you were going to be on, and I was like, "Oh, he's on Another Man's Trash," but you know who has on there? Elaine's boss. They're like, "Really? I gotta watch that shit." That you have
Peterman.
that star power in it.
Peterman. Yeah, well, he was the first name. He was the first name that we got on board. Luckily, he's a friend of our executive producer, so it kind of helps to have ties to that. And then John O'Hurley is actually going to be in a feature film that she's producing and directing. So we had a role that was perfect for him, and it was easy as just calling him up and pitching it, and he goes, "Sure, I'd love to do it." Like in his Peterman voice, he actually sounds a lot like that in real life.
That was probably exactly so satisfying. Just hearing that Peterman
he's
voice?
a good dude. Yeah. We had lunch with him down in DC about a month ago just to meet him and fill him in on everything. So it was, I mean, he's just a normal 6'4" dude. He's a genius though.
So he's one of you tall people.
Oh my God, he's a monster. Towers over me.
I'm one of them short hobbit 5'5" people to where my neck is hurting right now.
Yeah,
that's why
he's
everything's
like a comedic
short.
Genius. He'll bring so much to this just by his character. Like he plays the bosses. He's like there's a level of asshole in this movie. So like a pecking order. I'm the homeless man, and there's the guy that picks on me, and there's his boss who picks on him.
Yeah.
Vice versa. So John O'Hurley's going to be that cocky man of bravado.
The head honcho asshole.
That's so perfect for
well,
him.
He has a guy above him, which they get into a little funny tizzy. But like the whole movie here revolves around food, which is how I actually connected with Kelly again because of his background in being a chef. So
yours truly was going to be in the credits, but I can't.
Yeah, sorry, you had to go somewhere.
Oh man, Kelly! God damn it!
Yeah, he's going away or something. Too important, big guy. But
Kelly, when somebody in
consultant.
production asked you to help on a project, it's like that scene in Ghostbusters. You do it. If they ask you if you're a god, Ray, you say yes.
Pay for the food, give me $100. That's
He was
all I
like,
want.
pay my hockey season. I was like, okay, yeah, done deal.
I was really excited because all these guys know they've had my food too. Like they know I can cook. I know my food. I've been doing it.
I've shoveled his meat into my mouth, and it's delicious.
Many years, professionally. So I was looking forward to that. So
yeah, that's all good.
No, I mean, I'm still gonna support.
Things work out.
I'm still gonna support and watch. You know.
Yeah, but with John Hurley involved, that sells the comedic flair to where, man, if you don't win something at Sundance, I'd be fucking surprised just with that premise.
Let's get in first.
Yeah. You got that, man. You got that. You got John Hurley.
Every festival has its own criteria, like a checklist, if you will. You know, some are about the arts, some are about the music, some want only name celebrities, some want diversity. You know, every different festival, we're trying to hit a box, and I think our film kind of hits all of that because it is about a really good cause and a good topic, has some names in it. So I think we're going to be doing hopefully quite well here, getting into these.
So I'm excited for you and for this movie, and I want everything to go well with you. My question for you is, now that you're at this moment, can you name a point of every movie and set that you've been on, and how that brought you here? Like what emotion point, like that.
You're talking about those key moments in time that you can't change.
The reason why you went there, and you're glad. The reason why this happened, you're glad that happened.
What key moments happened to you, I guess?
Why are you here and not there?
Why am I here? I don't know if I have a good answer for that. I mean, I've been on a lot of sets, but for different reasons.
What was the most prominent?
The art of acting itself is why I'm here, because I want to tell stories and I don't want to be Dennis all the time. And I have this need to kind of just tell stories. If that sounds cliche, but it's true. I don't want to I don't know. I just have a lot to give inside. I've lived quite a bit of experience in my life. I mean, I'm 41 now, and I've kind of been through a lot in different scenarios, and I think I can pick from all of that and bring it out into other characters, and I hopefully do them well. But I've never played, obviously, a homeless man, and I want to do that justice, even if it's slapstick in some moments and kind of, I never want to poke fun, but there's an opportunity here to still tell this serious subject and making people laugh about it, and it's okay. Because sometimes, like you said in the very beginning, that's a way to actually get an audience's attention, because nobody wants to sit there and cry for 30 minutes and be like, oh, this is a documentary. That's not the route we're going here. So
I'm also excited because it shows the diversity of things. So like people view, like I think a majority of people view him as a certain way, dirty, bad people. And this will show that it's not always what it seems. You know, it's not always this is a dirty person that, you know, fucked up. It's like you said, down on his luck, that made a mistake. And you could probably go, like, I know I have. I'm a very social person. I'll talk to anyone and everyone. My wife hates it.
Yeah.
I could go,
especially
I bet you I could go up to a homeless person, talk to him.
She's
Maybe not in
hating you right
Kensington,
now.
but somewhere else. And because in Kensington one, they won't be able to function. But the other one I'll talk to, I'm just kidding. But most of them I'll talk to, and they probably would have a good conversation with them. You know, like
totally, they just want to be heard. They just want to be heard.
Exactly, and it shows that it's not always what it seems. What people perception is can be wrong.
That's what we want to show. This is a story about redemption on both sides. Both of the main characters go through a redemption arc where they find out in the end that they actually need each other, because they realize that their true calling is to help others. You know, on one hand, the other co-lead is tired of working for assholes like he does in the real estate business, and he's in this fancy office. He's not happy. Money doesn't always create success or happiness, for example. And then here I am as a contrast. I had a taste of all that, and then I lost it. But we actually, in the end, we come together because, like I said, the film revolves around food. I'm a former celebrity chef, and he needs someone to cook a meal that night. This all happens within one day, this entire film. It's 30 minutes, and it's just morning to night. And he asked me to cook this fancy dinner for him. And this is my chance, perhaps, to get back on my feet. It doesn't quite go as planned, but I'll leave that for the film. But yeah, in the end, this is a good story where two people in contrasting parts of their lives come together. So that's what we hope to tell.
I love that. I love that idea.
I have
with an awesome charity as well.
Yeah, an awesome charity. We're raising money for Phil Abundance. 10% of our proceeds will go straight to them. We've already raised some money online. Again, it's anothermanstrashfilm.com, and there's a donation button right there. Super easy. It's PayPal. We would be, so grateful for any contributions.
Dude, I'm donating after this podcast because I really believe in this film. I think you're hitting all the right marks with me. Not only with comedy and actually having a purpose, but actually just you describing this nice dynamic. We are all about onions around here. I love layers. I love layers. And having that in there, it's really impressive that I want it to gain as much steam as it can because it's an interesting premise and I want to see it on film on the big screen.
Well, you got to come to the premiere.
Well, look, 3D would be awesome. I may be stretching. I'm just personal preference. But
I don't know if it's in the budget, but
that's why we gotta donate. We gotta get you donating, man. We gotta get this shit in 3D.
Yeah, we'll do smell-o-vision too while we're at it.
Dude, the 4DX, they got that out in the expensive land, California, that country. There's a bunch of countries in this United States that, like Jersey. That's another country. Been there. But this is all taking place in Philly. I mean, that's what I love about it. It's central. People in Philly love it when you shoot here. It's like, oh, you're going to shoot all of this? That's great.
My doctor's office isn't far from there.
And a little bit in Delco, too.
Yeah, Morton. I saw that.
Morton, yeah. And I'll plug, if you don't mind, because there's been some donations, like Double Decker, for example, came on board as a good
We
So,
fucking love them.
Longtime friend
Just ate
with,
them on Friday.
with Dimitri there. Yeah, so he hooked us up. Signs by tomorrow, and Morton helped a lot of things. They printed out a huge banner for us.
I actually know them. Signs by
Yeah.
tomorrow. They're
I
one
mean,
of my
there's so many,
customers. I
like,
know them.
you know, producing this again for the first time, I don't think I could have done this in other cities than, you know, as opposed to Philadelphia, where I could just walk in and in 3 minutes give them a pitch. Can you help me out? And they go, yeah, absolutely. Like in LA, I would have been told to just, like, you know, take off or kiss my ass kind of a thing. I'm telling you. And say what you want about Philly. I just don't see I could have gone in. Like today, I went into Staples. I said, here's the idea. Can you guys contribute to the film and maybe print out our scripts? And absolutely, how many do you need? And times 30 pages, times 20 script. I mean, you'd be surprised. That adds up. And that's a cost that now we can offload. And here we go. Now we can pass out our scripts to everybody. And everybody just keeps saying, yes, I'll help. And it's been awesome.
It's
We are
gotta
the
be.
city of
It's
brotherly
gotta
love.
be.
Brotherly
That's
love,
it.
for
The
a
city
reason.
of brotherly love, and it's because it's so cold and bitter here for so long. I mean, when you get the chance to feel nice and feel good, because being nice actually makes you feel good. It is a statistical proven fact. And when you're donating to a film that you're like, oh no, this is going to be great. This is only going to make you feel better and improve your life. Not to be a salesman, that I am. But it's just that thing that it's an A+ idea
Yeah,
to
so
tie it in.
throw A+ up there. Let's give him the information to A+ as well.
Pop in that gallery, big brother. apluscatering.com.
This is the catering we'll talk about. We'll see if they can hook you
My
up as
best
well.
friend, his sister, and his his partner are involved in a catering company that they do events and live, and they try to think outside the box when it comes to catering, to where you look at all these delicious delicatessens.
And they're
I
right
mean,
over the bridge.
They're right in the country of Jersey, and they serve the tri-state area. Amazing food. And they are creating new, different kinds of menus and different kinds of things all the time. They are really great people, and I know, especially if you're trying to keep people happy and fed, and in a good state of mind, they're going to be asking you, hey, man, where'd you find these people? I need to know right now. That's the kind of response.
Greg,
definitely hook-
hit me
we should
up
definitely
after
hook
talk
Yep.
about it. Yeah.
Yep.
This counts as the ad segment, right?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Because A+
good,
Catering
good.
and Events is the only place you need to go in the tri-state area for any of your delicious delicatessen needs. Because it will make your coworkers say, wow, is that an IV drip? No, idiot, it's an individual drip, which I found out last week from Big Brother.
That's the sauce. You pull it out and you squirt the sauce. He thought.
I thought this was like some kind of intravenous drip to where
the
like,
thing I have
oh, that
for the
egg roll is
plants,
just going to be so juicy inside because it has that intravenous drip. It's keeping it moist.
No.
It's not it at all. It's individual sauce. They love our ad segments.
They do. They actually comment on our ad segments as that they laugh hysterically.
Yeah.
Say
So-
for justice.
There's a bunch of BDSM jokes in
Yeah,
here.
it-
But one thing that is not to be choked on is this amazing movie, man. I am 100% down, and just from how you're talking about it, I really hope everybody else sees it the way that I do. And it's just excitement, because you can do this well, and I think you have the right view of it, and it just seems like firecrackers going off, you know? It seems like that lightning in a bottle idea that they're going to be, you know, this is going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, and we'll probably do a special.
Independent films
Yeah.
have had that history, clerks. So you take it to an independent film festival in this streaming age, to where Netflix is desperately trying to grasp on to subscriber submissions. It is completely possible for you to take this to the right place at the right time, and then just have that guy come up to you like a fucking, CIA agent. Like, excuse me, the strong grip arm. Excuse me, you need to call this person. We want to offer you a deal.
No, there'll be more for you. They'll be like, no, but I mean, like for example, like if your film does well and that you do get into Sundance, then it's going to be on the Sundance IFC film app.
Yeah.
Which then the exposure will be monumental.
Yeah.
Totally. And this could always turn into a feature. I mean, we've thought about that already. It's easier to add pages than delete them.
Correct.
In that mindset, I always like to throw out a multiversal question. This blows up. Netflix sees this. They're like, motherfucker, millions of dollars are in your future. You blow up in the film industry. Marvel calls you. Disney. We'll leave it that blanket statement. Disney calls you. They say, we want you to take your selection of an IP. My question is Star Wars, Marvel, or even Pixar. What is your first thought of an idea, a premise, a character or a plot? Where would you go in Star Wars if you took it? Where would you go in Marvel?
So
what character would you want?
What he's saying, any IP and open budget. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. They have the checkbook.
You weren't going to hit me with this earlier so I could think about it?
He just
I like to
thought
slap
of
you
it
over the
now.
head with it.
Yeah.
And
What
if I did,
can you combine the two if they own them? Can you go Star Wars into Marvel and somehow they cross?
This
Bro.
is fantasy. You can do
You're allowed to
anything
do whatever you want.
bro, I will pay you to do that.
I mean, I can't be the first one to have thought of that, but seems legit.
The closest
I
I got was Sony.
I
mean-
want to see Loki fighting, I don't know, Palpatine or some shit.
Man.
I want to see Sam Jackson
would
be
be
Mace
good.
Windu
That'd be
and
awesome.
Dude, no, Palpatine Loki would be an all because
I
he
don't know,
could
I
just
love
throw up those
Loki.
illusions.
They're
That's
both
my guy.
kind of wizards.
It's the ultimate battle of wizards. So, Loki, all right. So, if you had one of these new series coming out, which would you want to be attached to? Like, we have Ms. Marvel coming out in June. We have Thor, Love and Thunder coming out in July. After that, we have She-Hulk and then Wakanda Forever. The rest of the Marvel slate, what would you want? Obviously,
gladly take,
the Star Wars would be
any
Obi-Wan.
acting gig in any Marvel, just to be clear here. So I'm not going to diss any of them, but
Well, that's the reason why
I can
asked
actually
that.
see him being a good.
that's my
Blade
political answer.
director.
My real answer would be, I want to be in the Thor universe for sure.
Now, do you see yourself as a Jedi or a Sith? Obviously,
He's
you'll
a
take.
Sith for sure, dude.
Nah,
Obviously-
nah, I'm a Jedi. I'm a nice guy.
Obviously,
I
you'll
know,
take
I'm just-
either acting gig. But what would you
Kelly,
prefer?
2 minutes for fuck off.
Yeah, get out of here. Put your fourth wheel on, would you, for once? He might be the only one that gets that. He's the kind of, we have a rule at the deck where you have to wear 4 wheels, because if you have that piece of metal and you step on someone's arm,
Yeah.
goodbye arm. He's the guy who comes with 3 wheels every time.
Guess what? Mine still has 3 wheels. The one.
100% it does. I know
It
that.
does.
Rebel without a cause, and he's not going platinum.
Oh, Rebel Without a Cause. Great movie. Good reference.
Yeah, thank you. Onions, man, onions. But I mean, as far as a Star Wars time segment, like, we want you make a Star Wars movie.
Mm.
What era do you want? Do you want Old Republic, High Republic, Skywalker Saga, Rey Saga in the future?
No.
Darth
No,
Revan.
we're going old school for sure. We're going back to the original trilogy.
Okay.
I want to see Uncle Owen get a spinoff.
Moisture farming.
Just out of
Man.
nowhere, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru come back and
No, you know what
they're
you do?
living life.
You do that, but like Uncle Owen, life below. You know, moisture farming on Tatooine isn't easy. You know, you got a lot of stuff to deal. You got banthas. You got sandworms and
That
sand
farming
dragons.
is only his
Make it a mockumentary.
what
and
you
then you-
think he does job.
And then you got the sand people coming in and they're taking my moisture and they're just stealing it out from under me. I love that idea. Oh my God, that's fucking great. I would
think it's a
watch that
terrible
show.
idea. I think you're just humoring me. It's an awful idea. Let's never do that.
That's so great.
Nobody needs to see that.
No.
I would watch 20 seasons of that show, literally, because I'm watching Life Below.
He's a
But-
masochist.
One thing people do want to see.
What a segue.
They are.
We try.
Ah,
So one thing they do want to
where's the
see
button?
is Another Man's Trash, which, of course, is none other than...
That was a good segue.
Thank you, Connor.
That's my son when he was like 3.
Child labor. We have the father's consent. It's cool.
What are you drinking there?
We kill younglings around here.
Okay.
I'm sorry, younglings.
Younglings, Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
Tell that to Google and your Alexa.
The only podcast where you
Funny.
can slaughter younglings and not be looked at crossways.
Siri will do it too.
It's hilarious. So, one thing I do have is a couple stories.
Okay.
The Boys, season 3. There's a trailer, and we finally get to see Jensen Ackles' Soldier Boy. Not that guy. Yeah, not that guy.
Not the Nintendo stealing
No,
Soldier Boy.
no,
Not the rapper.
not the rapper. So, The Boys. In this trailer, we see a glimpse of Homelander's press tour after the events of season 2. He's just a man who fell for the wrong woman. First off, that's not even remotely close. This man has a fetish for milk, and it's unhealthy to where now in this trailer, you actually see him milking a cow, and just from that one glimpse, you know it's wrong. He's enjoying that way too much. Like, the cow, they're supposed to be enjoying that. Homelander right there? No. No. Hold your hand out. No. But in this trailer, they're also saying how he's winning over the fans, and we know they're going into Herogasm.
Okay.
Although, end of last season, he was literally coming on the city.
Yeah.
So,
The very end.
we got that going for him.
Shooting out.
So have you watched The Boys on Amazon?
If you're asking me, I have not. I have not seen a single
Amy, have you
episode.
watched them?
I hear good things about it, though. I haven't had time to watch shows.
I haven't seen it either.
I'm so behind.
See, if there was, especially if you're like a fan of superheroes, and if you're just looking for something that you know will be good, it will be surprising. It will go places that you didn't know, like in an instant. It's like walking and all of a sudden reaching a wall, and then seeing a doorway over there. It is very surprising, but it's compelling at the same point. It's to the point to where this is a fucked up show, and you're watching it and you're saying, that is fucked up, but you can't look away. Like Jensen Ackles, really U.S. agent and that person. But Billy Butcher getting superpowers this season for 24 hours. So, he had like 4 of those little jars in there, so he's got a couple days.
Okay. You say so.
I mean, look, you got 4 little canisters of superhero powers, and they work for 24 hours. Like, let's just assume you get that same superpower for 4 chances of 24 hours. Now, you could take that if, you're not trying to save the world, and really, I feel like you could kind of water that down. Maybe get mild superpowers and, last a little bit longer with that. Water it
I don't
down.
think that's how it works.
Well, add a little water, milk, sugar, a little bit of syrup for good.
I
good
love
measure.
season 1 and 2. Season 2 was just it blew it out of the water. But that first season 1 grabs you because that first
20
first 5
minutes.
The first 5 minutes of it
Yeah.
just grabs you and you just want to watch. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it.
Because I'm the comic nerd, and I saw, this is based off the comics. And then I started reading the comic. But it's not that movie.
Comic is far more debaucherous.
Exactly. But it's not that movie book serum to where, the book was so much better. They're both great.
They
If you
both
wanna-
have their own little realms.
Yeah, if you want to get deeper involved and see a different universe in this idea, read the comic. But you can just watch this show. and be thoroughly entertained.
I highly recommend this, Dennis.
Absolutely.
Amy, have you
So-
watched this at all?
This is a stupid question. It's on Amazon though, right?
Yes.
All right. I think I can.
Amazon has those select
50 minutes of your life for 1 hour a week.
Look, they have select premises that are really good. This one, Man in the High Castle, the one they
Man in the High
canceled,
Castle was really good.
the one
That's
that
solid. Yeah.
the one that canceled like dickheads is The Tick, because that was fucking great.
Tick was awesome.
It was amazing. It was an awesome show.
Has Amy watched this show?
I have not. It is actually on my list to watch. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
It's right after she plays Skyrim.
She has to 100% Skyrim first.
We'll see you next year.
That's how The Boys unlocks on our Amazon. You have to 100% Skyrim.
See you in 10 years.
I'll find somebody else's Amazon. then.
You gotta go put Charlie to bed, guys.
All right.
Later.
All right, Kelly.
The Boys will premiere
Thanks, Dennis. I'll talk to you
Yeah,
later.
of course. Thank you for having me.
their season 3 on June 3rd. So this next story is equally exciting because David Tennant and Catherine Tate return to Doctor Who for the 60th anniversary. And this ain't no bullshit. There's, that I'm in an apartment and holy fuck, that's David Tennant, like photo camera picture of him in the doctor suit and the TARDIS, his TARDIS. I'm nerding all over this. I love the fact they're bringing David Tennant back up fucking again with the Dr. Donna. Amy, how do you feel about David Tennant coming back?
Love David Tennant.
He could just keep
And-
coming. Giggity.
Yeah, so I'm super excited.
60th anniversary, which 60 years of any show is amazing. But with Doctor Who, it's all about change, and especially when you have every single person who was a doctor, once they got out of that machine, they're like, it's like Double Dutch, like, I'll hop in a couple rounds, like, woo, all right, man, that was fun. I'm going over here to do other shit. And that's where we got him as Crowley, as well as Kilgrave, like so many good different acting roles. And now he can come back to this with Russell T. Davies, which Eccleston and Tennant, that sold me on Doctor Who. Back when it was on Netflix.
I'm still going through the back catalog on HBO Max.
It's so great.
It is good.
But the problem that I have is they're course correcting on this because with this, we have Jodie Whittaker as the first female doctor, and she didn't get her due service.
Yeah, they didn't let her spread her wings and act or whatever happens.
I thought you were gonna go like spread her wings and fly. Like,
She's an actor. They don't fly, they act.
unless they're on a wire.
That would be acting.
Oh my
I'm a
God.
peacock. You gotta let me fly.
It's all about the
Peacocks,
metaphors.
peacocks don't fly. They do. They could. You get a running start. They could.
2 seconds is still in the air.
So
That's where I'm nerdy. I'll quote movies and then I hope that somebody gets the reference.
yeah, you'll get that around here.
Yeah, we do that a
You'll
lot.
Get that laugh. So Dr. Don is back.
122
Essentially,
and an 8.
Russell T. Davies is saying it could be a parallel world. It could be a missing story. It could be a dream. It could be a trick. Pretty much he's saying, fuck you. I'm not telling you. Watch it, bitch. And you're
Really
gonna.
saying I'm back.
Yeah. 2023. We're going to see the Doctor and David Tennant, at least Dr. Donna, supporting Ncuti Gatwa as the next Doctor. And he has his companion is also called Rose.
Okay.
I didn't Google how to pronounce her name, so I'm not going to try. But it's looking good. You got your companion. You got your doctor. You got a good showrunner. It's looking like they're going to find... You're going back to a showrunner who actually knows what the fuck they're doing.
I'll catch up to you in 3 years.
Maybe 4. 5, knowing you. But
Yeah, you're right.
we'll have to see if Russell T. Davies can course correct this ship a lot like this podcast, because the next story is not the ad segment. We already did that. but the Resident Evil trailer, because they are trying to save Netflix.
Save Netflix?
Well, them and The Witcher and, you know, all the other video game properties that are like, no, we promise we can make you good. But Netflix has dropped the first trailer for Resident Evil, the forthcoming live-action horror drama, which will be available for streaming July 14th. The video provides us with our first look at the main characters, Billy and Jade Wesker, who seemingly are the subject of their father's experiments for the Umbrella Corporation, to where, I don't know, if your dad works for Umbrella Corp, it's kind of like, you remember, what is her, Peyton Henantier from Heroes?
Yeah, yeah.
And her dad was working for the paper company, but really he was abducting children with superpowers. I kind of get that vibe. I don't know.
Do you?
Anytime your dad works for like an evil conglomerate like that, like
You're asking the right questions in the wrong decade.
the complete wrong decade. But it also teases the series' alternating timelines as it gives us a preview of post-apocalyptic London. It's probably not far off from London now, though.
I mean,
Not that I've been there.
the multiple iterations of Resident Evil, I don't mind the stories and the changing of, like, of course you have to switch it up, but
What's that Halo thing, a silver timeline, to where Master Chief can take his helmet off and have a girlfriend and fuck, and nobody's going to goddamn raise their eyebrow.
but we've seen Halo. Like, we haven't seen Halo.
We haven't seen Master Chief's dick. Get that on camera, goddammit.
Really?
I'm just saying. Leave him in the suit.
We didn't need to see his face.
That
Just shoot
spunk
the
can,
aliens.
doesn't need to air out. Your point?
But Resident Evil's done so many times in both animated, video game, and I mean, the Milla Jovovich movies were okay for what they were.
Yeah.
The animated movies were closer to the video game storylines.
The Milla Jovovich movies were kind of like, it was that person that's like standing next to the nerds, but they don't want to actually be grouped in with them, but they want to listen to what they're saying.
All this shit that they're talking about is pretty cool. I'm going to write it down. Here's a script.
That's kind of like with those movies. You were close enough, but no. I'm not with them. I'm not with them. No, it's separate universes. Separate universes. I don't know them at all. Gary, what'd you say? I need to write that down. G-R-E. Okay. Spell.
Infected with T virus.
So there's a lot of premise because we've seen success with Sonic and other Witcher and other video game premises. Dennis, is there a video game idea in your head that you would love to see made live action?
How about Frogger?
That'd be one.
Remember the WB frog? Bro.
No,
Tie
just
in.
Frog crossing the street all the time, not getting hit. Crossing alligators.
I see
There's
it
got
as-
to be some way. Jim Carrey will come in somewhere.
He's the alligator.
Yeah,
Of course. He has to be the alligator.
What about you, Amy?
I think you asked me this the last time I was on your show.
Yeah.
And I said that I didn't know of any off the top of my head, but
So you had time to
I had
prepare.
mentioned The Witcher. Yeah,
Yeah.
The Witcher was really good.
Or like Pac-Man.
You know what, though? Give me Mega Man.
Mega Man would be awesome. I play mostly sports games, but I mean,
You see those live, like
Mutant
a
League
couple months a
football.
year.
that actually happened.
You get your live action. Every goddamn year besides 2020, you get your live action.
Mutant League football. Get me that as a live action.
Okay. Hey, man, they're making Toxic Avengers. They could save the makeup. Maybe. I don't know how that works, but I imagine they could.
Basketball.
No. But
Does that you just go basketball?
he
Great.
went there. He went there.
Said great movie.
But it's an alternately powering theory you brought up. It's definitely not in the main line. A lot like this next story. Because
That was a
is
good
that?
segue.
That is an algae-powered computer that probably can't run Crisis. So,
It's only getting 2 frames per second.
as reported by New Scientist, a team at Cambridge University, the Howell Lab, successfully powered a small computer for 6 months through the energy produced by a colony of photosynthetic algae. Algae, not allergy. That's probably a different word.
Yeah.
There you go. So the researchers created a AA battery size. Wow, AA. That's really fucking convenient. AA size algae powered battery? Damn. And how long was that?
6 months.
6 months for a AA bat? That's
Yeah, it's about the same time for your
pretty
remotes.
nice. Pretty fucking nice, man. I got to tell you, if we're looking at it,
I mean, but if you plug
Logically.
if you plug that battery into an Xbox controller, it's done in a week.
Pretty much.
so you just need stronger algae. You got to get that algae fucking, man.
Photosynthesizing?
There you go. Whatever. I'm not a scientist, but a AA battery-sized clear plastic, aluminum enclosed to the housing, the algae and the aluminum anode. The researchers believe the most likely source of the battery's energy output is its electrons produced by the algae as a byproduct of their regular processes. So it's from algae pooping.
Okay.
That what you got? That's what I got.
No.
Okay. The battery was left on a windowsill in a research Paolo
Bombeles.
I guess that's a franchise, from February to
house.
August. Oh.
It's his house. It says
That's his name.
I thought that was like an Olive Garden.
researchers. It's his research. The researcher's
It's not a
house.
place. That's a
Oh, I thought that was like an Olive Garden.
When you're
Paolo
there, your
Lavoie.
family.
It's at a foreign, it's obviously at a foreign restaurant is where they tried this out.
Yeah.
I'm here for the algae and breadsticks.
Title of the podcast.
But it was left on his home, apparently, not an Olive Garden.
On his windowsill.
From February to August. The energy was used to
This is a
power.
nice balsamic.
We're like this every week, Dennis. It's okay. Some call it mental ill. But it was used to power an ARM Cortex
He's self-diagnosing again.
M0 Plus processor, a low-powered, highly efficient chip often used in Internet of Things, in quotes, applications.
Yes, that's what your Google
You
Home.
want to
and-
IT that?
It's what your Google Home, your Alexa devices. All new routers come with an IoT network device, so you can plug in those devices that require internet without taking away your main bandwidth.
Is it compatible with my C3PO unit?
He knows 3,000 calculations.
So that's a no.
No. Unfortunately, not calculable to C3PO units. But the processor ran constant calculations to simulate a normal workload and also record the power output of the algae battery.
That's pretty impressive, which gets us closer to more.
Look, man, if they can have it to where you have an algae battery pack, right? And say you have that algae battery that's producing this content, and
gonna be the
you
size
have
of
it
the
in
cloud.
like a translucent PC case.
Dennis, could you imagine running an entire crew on an sustainable battery or or energy output?
Like an algae battery?
So you don't have to connect to or have a generator or anything like that?
It'd have to be
That
the
would definitely
size
help.
of it.
Sure. I'll try anything once.
It's just an algae thing the size of the Chrysler building.
Yeah. Yeah, but you don't have that annoying hum in the background that you have
No,
to cut
that's-
out and post?
No, Big Brother. That's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
It may become sentient and kill us all, but it's not exposed to radiation, right?
No, that's where
Yet.
you get into the horror movie vibe.
Yeah, right, whatever.
The algae battery and then decides to try and kill you because it then infects your electric hardware because then it grows bacteria, which increases the resistance in the wires, which then allows it to become sentient among the world. And now an algae has controlled the globe. And that's how we get to the Matrix.
And then they go to PJAND.
If I were to design that evil, dastardly plan, that's what I would do, because we end off this podcast the same goddamn way every single week with a thought experiment, as I call it, which is the end segment. And this one is, what non-Star Wars characters would you like to see in that universe, and why? My first one, I'm probably going to say Master Chief as a general in the Clone War army. I think Rex would have learned a lot off of Master Chief. And they would have bashed those separatist droids, and Palpatine would have had to think of something else.
I would say Commander Shepard.
You posing Commander Shepard against my Master Chief?
Yes, because he actually died and came back.
Well, Master Chief, he just got the job done. He didn't have to die. He didn't have to make that sacrifice play. He was smart. Fucking military tactician, sir.
I'm sensing a lot of hostility today.
Yeah.
Goddamn Master Chief! No, but I like the Master Shepard. Master Shepard.
Amy, what do you
blend
think?
our ideas.
Pick a character.
I honestly don't know.
Would you see Sonic as a Jedi or a Sith?
Who?
Sonic.
He's a hedgehog. He runs. He's really fast.
Kind of see that
Figure
running as
Jim
aggression.
Carrey's he might have.
Honestly, I kind of see him more as a Sith.
Yeah.
How do you see
I'm
Geralt
not
from
a big
Witcher?
Sonic
Bro,
fan.
those quills, they are sharp. Yeah. And that is a giant hedgehog. Those quills can kill. I've done it. In video game form, not with an actual hedgehog. Life size.
All right, Dennis, you?
Oh God, I was hoping you wouldn't come to me again. What are we talking here? Another character not in Star Wars.
Any kind of fictional
In
character.
Star Wars.
But you see them in Star Wars. Like saying Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. He'd probably be working in the cantina.
Yeah.
Both of them would. I see them totally in a cantina on Mos Espa.
You're like, I don't like you. Well, that's good. He doesn't like you either. That's great.
I love that.
No, but like Predator. He would be good.
He'd be the best bounty hunter in the fucking galaxy.
That would be good.
I mean, he can go camo, and he has thermal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mando has thermal, too, so it's not like that's special.
Wario.
Forrest Gump. That's my answer.
Ooh.
Forrest Gump.
I mean, he's already got super speed.
That boy can run.
He's a courier. He runs messages
He
between
plays
moisture
ping pong,
farmers.
He does it all.
Yeah, he's done everything.
I see him as a Jedi.
You see Forrest Gump running the pod race.
Look, man.
He doesn't
You're
need a
missing it.
racer. He just runs it.
Forrest Gump is the greatest Jedi of all.
Oh, for
Okay.
sure.
Because first off, he had the forethought to run a shrimp empire. Okay. He survived Vietnam, so obviously the Force was with him. Okay. Jenny, I mean, the Force works in mysterious ways. He met a couple presidents. That's the Force. Forrest Gump was a fucking Jedi.
Yeah. See? Good answer. Finally, I've done something well here.
Yeah, you did the whole thing well. Just like, where is it?
Hang on. There we go. Just like hopping over here to PJANDW. You were going for his movie.
We've already
Another
done
Man's
that.
Trash. Yeah, we already went back to our
Plug the
website.
the guests.
Yeah, we'll plug his website.
We'll plug it for a while in a couple shows.
Absolutely. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
have this in a bunch until you goddamn get what is it, Oscar Academy Award? That's the same thing.
When do you expect a release? Estimated time.
We want to have it finished by September because a lot of the festivals cutoff dates start happening around October.
Okay.
Festivals go on all year long. There's so many. So it doesn't really, we really want to hit the Sundance Tribeca cycle. So that would be our number one goal.
So September,
as long
October,
as we get
November.
it done by September, I think is the last is the cutoff. So
I mean, those are the big ones, though.
yeah, look, there's South by Southwest, Austin.
Yeah.
There's a great one in LA. There's Palm Springs. There's God, there's so many. I mean, even Philadelphia has a local international one, but we'll take. Listen, I'll get into as many as I could possibly get into. Once it does the festival circuit, we can then start putting it up on streaming. $1.99 to rent it or something simple, just for anybody who wants to check it out. But we're not looking to make money on this. This is just a passion project.
Yeah.
And hopefully doing something really well.
Amy, is
and,
there
and helping people. So
Well, not that. Also, another we've actually had a close friend of mine, but actor, on this podcast, and I know if you have any future projects and you need a guy, I fucking know a guy, and I'd be glad to hook him up with you. He's a really great guy, Tony Brown. He was we recently plugged him in this podcast last year for Drown the Clown.
Yeah.
And that came out on Amazon. Really good dude. He was the dude for the lottery. If you ever drove down 95 and you saw the one guy with the lottery ticket, like, hey, with the thumbs up, that was him. And he's in a whole bunch of shit. And Tony Brown, I'd love to hook him up with you for any kind of
I'd be surprised if I've never met him, at least by maybe the name is escaping me. But in Philadelphia, I've probably met.
It's really generic.
Everybody, but you're saying you did a PA lottery commercial?
Yeah, PA lottery commercial.
With
He was
Dust the Groundhog.
He was in Law Abiding Citizen. He was an extra in Law Abiding Citizen. In the scene with Jamie Foxx and the old DA, he was sitting next to Jamie Foxx's assistant, the girl who blew up. He was the guy next to her. And
he didn't blow up though.
No, he didn't blow up. He didn't blow up.
Damn it!
Not yet.
That would have been
Yet. But nah, man, it's a lot of great stuff, and especially when you look at it, nerddom and film and podcasting and everything in media, it's great to be interconnected and to push everybody's stuff and connect all out there because it gets everybody your amazing idea and your project. And we're going to continue to talk about it because it's a great idea. You're a local dude. You're a bajanger in and of himself, and we love that we had you on. We very greatly appreciate you for being here today.
Wow. Thank you guys for having me on. I mean, this was fun.
You're welcome back anytime.
More often. Yeah, this was great, man. I really appreciate it.
Are you
when's
the next time you're going to be in the area, or when's the next time you're going to be in the Philly Delco area, except for like?
I live in Delco.
Okay, and then
he lives and breathes it, man.
I'm Delco. You can't leave.
I was born into it.
I tried.
Molded by it.
Okay. July 16th, I'm doing an event for American Championship Pro Wrestling and doing a ring announcing for them, as well as doing some creative content for them.
I know what you're thinking, you sly fucker.
You're more than welcome to come.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What? Keep me posted.
Will do.
Obviously, when it gets closer.
Absolutely.
Man, Old Man, and Dennis, we're all going to have autograph signings. Dennis will probably be a lot more popular than us. Ours are selling for half a peso.
And anybody who donates, by the way, I can throw them into the lottery for a Lego Seinfeld set, by the way. That will be signed by John O'Hurley.
Fucking right.
Awesome.
So I'm going to take this to set, have him sign it. And then people who have already donated, I'm going to put their name in a hat. He'll pick it.
Right,
and
guys.
he'll sign it and we'll give it away.
We got to pull together for Pajangers.
When you're ready to raffle it off, we can raffle it off live for you.
All right, you had a
An
separate
interesting
idea.
concept. I don't know if we can pull that off in this short time, but I'm curious.
I had a completely separate thought. I thought we could all pool our money together and donate the most, so that way we'd have the best possibilities for winning that Seinfeld set.
At that point, you might just want to buy it. It's $80 at Target. I don't want you going nuts here.
On that bombshell.
Although it's autographs, you cannot buy that at Target.
No, you
Exactly. You keep the box and you set it right in front of it, and you're behind it, and you're like, look, I assembled that, and it's signed.
Hell yeah.
Right. And then you get the rest of the surviving members to sign. Besides,
You might want Kramer's autograph.
That's where
He'll
my
probably give it
nerdum
up.
is, really. If you guys ever talk Lego, I'm your guy. I'll come back on.
Oh, I got someone for
Okay.
you then.
He knows an actual Lego.
Oh,
He's
now I'm
plastic.
intrigued.
He's only so tall. It's a syndrome.
All right, short stuff. Stop it.
But we end off this podcast with thank yous. Obviously, we thank you, Dennis. We thank you, William Unstetter, Moisel Robinson, Mark Gervais, Amanda Cabrera, and you, loyal Walljanger, for obviously supporting the podcast. We want you to support Another Man's Trash and make this film the biggest thing in 2022 because it deserves to be, man. It's a great premise. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, big brother and old man, for popping on. And of course, this is none other than a long drawn out goodbye. I am your host, Matthew Bugrell, the Matman. And to my left, we have Christopher Bristow, the old man. We have Amy, no nickname needed. We had our Iron Kelly. We have Dennis. We'll think of a nickname later. That's a great one. But we love you. We miss you. We want to see you next week. Until then, game on, boys and girls. Bye-bye. It's so crazy.
Oh no, Linky, we're gonna end it. Oh no, Linky.
So
Oh
crazy.
gosh. All right, bye-bye.
Play on Bajangers. That was a good segue. Our Iron Kelly.
Thank you, Dennis. Can't say.
Show's
enough.
over, dude. I appreciate your barking. It really helped. It sells the ending, but it's time to stop.
Put all your information as well. Anything else you need to plug, dates, any upcoming dates that you need. You know, we got you.
Sure. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate this. This was fun.
Yeah, I'm getting embedded into the wrestling community, and they talk and intermingle with each other. So I'll push your information with them as well. And
Don't mind me. I can't help but show my wiener. This is the guy who is barking. Link, Diablo, hero time.
all right, he wants to get down.
Nah, he's fine. I hold him like a person.
Okay.
There goes my dog upstairs running around like a nut.
I hear
You
the
hear that?
claws.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
I know the sound. Like that. But he's an acrobat.
All right, well,
But thank you for joining, man. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks,
it, man.
guys.
anytime you want to come back on, just reach out. We'll be happy to have you.
Any new
And,
projects when it hits streaming? I mean, if you just even think of a good idea, pop on.
And it can't say to the quality of character that you wanted to bring this story out and bring it to light. So appreciate it.
Thank you.
And it brings.
Thank you, guys.
It's
Next time you
everything.
see me, I'll be clean shaved and everything. So
Amy, you were a mouthful today, so I appreciate you.
As always. Amy, if you could talk a little less.
Yeah, I know. I've got that problem.
All right. Love you both. Have a good night.
all right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Good night. Thank you.
So, end credits. Where this week we're probably going to get to a lot more of the stories while we're waiting for people to join that we normally wouldn't. So, I have the stories for the end credits in front of us, and we could just kind of discuss. Because the first one... Separate here. Here. It'll probably work out.
It always does. It always does.
That's your secondary. You can fuck off. So, normal talking on my side is good. How is yours?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good around half level, but if we bump it up a little bit, we should be nice. That should be around there. We'll move that. We'll keep that around there, and then move that around. I need a story.
See me recording. podcast.
So I was rather surprised and excited that Kelly knew an actor. and he, well, the slight burn right there, and that he never told us, like, anything about it.
Well, he likes to keep his stuff to himself, I guess.
Yeah. So our first story is the breaking news. That is, they dropped a She-Hulk trailer. And it's the first in the live stream. Oh, you gotta be in a. So they have
He sent a photo.
until we get some people. She-Hulk dropped the trailer. And we see here in the footage, it's Bruce Banner pretty much talking about the next generation of heroes. And she's just like, I never wanted to be this hero. And, he's like, guess what? Comes with the family, Junior.
This is from him, from Tennant. Says his Zoom may not be supported on your browser.
Try it from his phone.
I will just give him a call personally.
Oh, good. You paused it. No, I went back. Oh, cool. We'll just edit that out. Snags are supposed to pop up for us. Because it should just be a free account for Zoom, and you just log in. Oh, hang on. Turn your mic off because I thought you were going to call him. Well, first off, I need silence all cell phones. What do you think about the Bill Burr thing I put in chat? Because we're definitely going. It's like September 17th or something.
What date does that fall on?
I don't know. I don't care. It's probably a weekend. It's Bill fucking Burr. He's in Philly one day. And when Tommy Buns comes in town, guess what? We're going to see him too. Because he's coming everywhere. Yeah. That's cool. I would like to see Tommy do movies. Oh, there we go. Now people can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah. And with your voice, I can actually crank this volume all the fucking way up so that people can hear you. Because you always have that Nadav kind of level.
They don't need to. I don't have that much to say.
Okay, so I'll just leave you at that Nadav level then.
Yeah, I'm fine in the background.
Okay. There we go. But you're ITing?
I'm ITing.
All right, fuck it. We'll keep going. So with this trailer, I love it.
All right, let's start the trailer.
Yeah, start it over. Oh, we can start it at the same time. Hang on. Ready?
I already started.
It's fine. There we go. About the same. About the same.
All right. This has been brought to you by
For Jagger. We're going to keep watching the same thing over and over. But Tatiana Maslany, she is looking good as She-Hulk because they show her actually as She-Hulk, Big Brother. And I want you to look at the She-Hulk face. And we see Tim Roth there. Loved him in Lie to Me. And he was great as the Abomination and the protagonist in the original Incredible Hulk. I love with Ed Norton. Love that. It was great. And then we see here he's experimenting. Of course. How else are you going to throw her in that Hulk state if you don't have like 17 circular saws throwing at her face? And here they're asking for the She-Hulk. She's become an overnight success. And here we see her. And here they're commenting about her ass. But I got to tell you, I really fucking love She-Hulk. And they're saying, oh, you could become an Avenger. She's like, oh, I'm not really a superhero. But you just jumped a fucking mile with the Hulk. So I see a lot more development with the Hulk's character, which I'm very down for. That's one of the best things that I loved about Thor Ragnarok is that we actually saw Hulk. Because now, with Spider-Man No Way Home, there's that panel that's going around to where Hulk remembers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And Parker has this moment where he's like, hang on, wait a minute, what? You know my name? And we can have that in live action, which is another nice little flavor onto the MCU. A lot like what we're doing. Oh, yeah, it just keeps going on to different shit. So, we'll just ignore that. But I'm really loving what the MCU is doing because She-Hulk is after Thor Ragnarok.
There's no emits.
No.
All right.
I see nothing.
It's right here. I mean, we are in the Zoom. We're very professional. I don't know what they're just so judgy Jason about. We're professional AF.
I did admit someone now.
Hey!
There he is.
And we can hide ourselves so we're not incepting the podcast.
Wow, that makes way more sense.
Excellent.
I hope that helped, Dennis.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
All right.
Callie
Now we're
is finishing dinner, and then he's going to be on.
Who's finishing dinner? Kelly?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
So he has a stand-in
Yeah.
graphic there.
Yes. We
It's a
created,
cardboard cutout.
it's one of many, actually, which I do have over to the side.
So the highlight of the story, like he kept on canceling on us. So I reached out to my buddy who created
What do you mean kept? He still keeps canceling on us.
He created
So-
4 cardboard cutouts of Kelly. We trolled his Facebook and grabbed pictures of him.
Our favorite is our cardboard Kelly, and
There you
then
go.
we have one Milk Stash Kelly,
Foam face.
Foam Face Kelly. Yes. We'll just leave them down there for future reference. It's definitely
Sweet.
time to bring out our cackle of Kellys.
Yes.
So we have a full cackle that we made, and it's podcast number 146.
Yeah, 146.
We have created this dastardly plan to where I went and picked up the cackle from his house.
Which I lived like 3 blocks away.
Exactly. So easy A to B. All right. I'm on my way home from work. I go to his house. I grab the cackle. We have a nice one and two banter. I proceed to drive. I have the entire cackle right next to me on my passenger seat. So
This one in front.
right in front. So on my way, which ended up being 6 blocks. Here we go. We got to make sure you're standing up, buddy. It's your podcast. So on my 6-block journey back to my house, all of my neighbors decided that it was time to stand outside and stare at the weirdo like I'm the weirdo with multiple cardboard cutouts of the same person on his passenger seat. They tended to stare, to say the least.
I bet.
When you have
There you go.
this friendly face sitting right next to you, I mean, how could you not?
I think I've seen enough of that in my lifetime.
I imagine. So you know our cardboard Kellys.
Oh wow, he looks like
Sloth Kelly.
Austin Powers, the fat.
We don't bring this one out.
The Irish guy, the Scottish guy, the fat guy. What the
Fat
hell's his name?
bastard.
Big fat bastard.
Fat bastard.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have this nice relationship with Kelly, and you're involved in the hockey with him.
I am correct. We're not live yet, are we?
No, we're not.
No, this is
We're
the
just
end
shooting the
credits.
shit
This
here.
is the best part. It's where
Yeah.
we already
No,
talked
I-
about the She-Hulk
I
trailer
have
that
been,
just dropped.
I've been playing and refereeing for a while up at the Springfield deck. It's in Swarthmore, but it's Springfield deck. And yeah, Kelly has been many a times in the penalty box for my whistle.
I'm just
and,
telling you, we've been doing this shit for 3 fucking years, and he
spent more time with you than he has with us.
exactly.
Well, it's
That's
called
what
the
we're trying to
Triforce,
say.
and
Well-
there's 2 of you.
Yeah, well, that, but there's also the fact that Kelly never mentioned to us that he had an actor friend. Like he mentioned the game developer friend
a while ago. Well, it was kind of random that he had this production company, if you will, right? So it's like
Popped
5
up
years
out of
ago that
nowhere.
he first mentioned it to me, and I don't remember what we were supposed to do. He wanted to shoot something for me before and interview me, but here I am. Well, I was in LA for like 4 years, so I haven't really been back in this area to speak with Kelly about much, but yeah, no, I'm excited to be on. I mean, share a little bit about the film and whatever you guys want to talk about, I'll be here.
I'm really stoked for this, man, because
I feel like I'm a little bit delayed. Am I delayed?
No, you're not.
No. I'm
Like
really
a second behind.
I'm really impressed. Welcome, Amy. I love the Van Gogh.
Thank you.
Amy, no nickname needed. One of our ultimate purge-hangers.
Hi, Amy.
And I guess we should start off this with we are purge-hangers and wall hangers. Wall hangers, everybody knows that term. Purge-hangers is a new word that probably nobody has ever heard before us because he made it up.
That's marketing 101. When you make up a word and you Google it, it's the only thing that shows up.
Yeah. So when you Google Purjangers, it's just us. Hashtag Purjangers Purjanging came from our wonderful woman, Katerina Thermoscara. And Purjangers, we ended up with her developing a definition for the word that we made up. Because all words are made up words, so we might as well define it and get it into Webster's. But a Purjanger is a person or group that love and or infatuated with nerdy and geek culture. And that's great because you can be a nerd or a geek about anything. We've had music nerds with the ultimate memoirs of a roadie. Axel drank rosé. It was a long fucking title. Really but Jake, no. And we had Jake from the ACBW. We've had a lot of different kind of nerds. Wrestling nerds, music nerds, film nerds. We've had, Lisa, yes. You knew who
Lisa Wilcox.
Lisa Wilcox from the...
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Thank you. My brain farts go right into his head. It sounded dirtier than I wanted.
There's a thought that you're not going to be able to shake.
Don't.
Move on. But... So we have.
This isn't D&D. This isn't gold first edition D&D. No stinking cloud here. Thank you very much.
No, but
level 1 spell.
We can move on in the end credits to this one story I did want to highlight, especially since you did mention in the chat that you're a Star Wars nerd, which is.
I mean, probably not as much. I don't know how much. What I'm dealing with you guys, but I know my fair share of Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, stuff like that.
Have you checked out The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett?
I watched the first 2 of Boba Fett.
Okay.
I have not gotten too into it, to be honest. I watched all of The Mandalorian.
Then you have seen this director of Bryce Dallas Howard, the episode to where he finds Cara Dune. That episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, Ron Howard's daughter. And every episode she did of Mandalorian was spot on. I loved it. It was beautifully done. Now, with John Watts stepping away from Fantastic Four because he wants a break from superhero films, which is understandable.
Kelly's coming in.
Admit our Iron Kelly. We started off just calling him Our Kelly, but he had a problem, so we now call him Our Iron Kelly to smooth it over.
Tank top and everything ready to go.
Yeah, got the beater on.
Oh, yeah. That's our Iron Kelly, the masculine man that he is. Looks like he's about to bite into a manwich.
No, it looks like you're whispering something into your ear.
So
whisper knowledge into your past self. Tell yourself something.
There you are. The light of our podcast, which is so fitting. But Bryce Dallas Howard, not only is she set to direct the movie, she's also set to play Sue Storm.
Okay.
Against John Krasinski. That's the rumor. I'm down with that.
I'll allow it.
because she played Gwen Stacy back in the day.
Yeah.
Yo, give me
Spider-Man
a second. I just gotta
3.
make a coffee real quick.
Yeah.
I can't do this without coffee.
I understand. Sometimes you
What
need
was
a
that
coffee.
death match going on in the background, man?
Was that
I'm
He-Man?
just-
What was that in the background?
Charlie's watching Happy Feet.
Oh, Happy Feet. Okay. All right. We're just.
Everybody remembers the Happy Feet death match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, me, Gene.
So the other thing I had in the Pajanga folder is Walken over because Christopher Walken is cast in the Dune sequel as Emperor Shaddam the Fourth. Tell him about the tooth fairy.
If you haven't seen that movie, what is it? The one with the Rock?
The Rock. It's the
Seriously.
rundown.
The rundown.
You gotta give yourself
The
a
Rock
treat.
and Christopher Walken, man. That
Perfect
scene with Christopher Walken where he's trying.
When a rapper wants a new shiny new tooth.
I fucking love that.
All right. Well.
But
Oh, good. You're back.
We thought you scared you away there. Dennis.
yeah, he's like,
Well, he scared you away. I'm like,
That's
uh-oh,
it. He's like, we're going into bad walking impressions. Cue up the Fat Boy Slim.
So that's pretty much. He's the guy that sent the House Atreides to the desert planet because he said fuck you guys. So you're gonna see him in the next movie.
All right.
That's fantastic.
Another thing, Big Brother, pull up live folder, the third article down, because this is something we want on the back screen behind us.
That means I gotta.
I know, multiple different things.
No, it means I gotta type it.
Yeah, you have to multitask. I know.
Hit that demo, because there's been a lot of Unreal 5 engine footage that's been put out there.
It's working. It's working.
Unreal 5 engine, and they're adapting of light and different mechanics. It's been adapted in multiple different things, but now Skyrim's Riverwood has never looked so real with this rendering. It is from environment artist Christian Gom with, you're going to say that name, because I'm not murdering that game
name.
company.
Micro?
There you go. Games. And has made an impressive mic up.
Still.
But
mock
everybody,
up.
if you have never played Skyrim, it would be something to be like,
Where
oh
have
my
you
god,
been the
this is
last
so
20
great.
years?
But you've played it on your rock, you've played it on your fridge, and now I gotta tell you, how much you wanna bet in the future there's gonna be an Unreal 5 remake of Skyrim, just so they can beat that dead horse one last time. Amy, tell me I'm wrong.
Please.
I have never played Skyrim, so
Wow, we found one. The one and only person.
I'm the holdout.
Has your husband, though?
I think he has, but I don't think he really cared for it too much.
Oh, so he Matman'd that shit. He just kind of like played a little bit of it and he was like, oh, that was good. And then just went about his day. I guarantee you, he probably played to a portion to where he got a sizable chunk done in the story of what he was trying to do and then forgot to save. And then he went back to like 17,000 hours ago and said, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck that game.
He's like, no, I'm done.
That's
I'm
what I
done.
did. So,
That sounds like experience talking right there.
It's a lot
Yeah.
of people's
Yeah.
experience. You gotta remember.
but it looks better with this. Our Iron Kelly, what do you think of the Unreal 5 engine Riverwood?
He can't hear you.
He has no headphones on.
He rides his bike with no handlebars as well. So, Kelly, what do you think of the Unreal 5 engine Riverwood right here with Skyrim?
It's the first time I saw it. Looks good.
I mean,
it's kind of choppy on because I can't really.
do you see it on the,
rendering right though.
do you see it coming to a fridge near you?
I'm so tired of Skyrim though, because it's like you can play Skyrim on your fridge, you can play Skyrim on the wall, you can play Skyrim
Give
everywhere.
us.
God,
a
there's
new
an
game.
echo in here.
Maybe we can get a
You know if you attended the podcast. But we also start off this podcast, well, end off this end credit podcast the same way with, of course, you hitting that subscribe button right there, right above my head. Wow, that's going to be the very best Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers video for you. And right above the old man's head, that's going to be every single Triforce podcast in a convenient playlist. And of course, right down below, you're going to like, comment, subscribe, but it does not end until our main man, Connor, says bye-bye.
Bye.